people create one video and create $10,000. What's going on, y'all? Please subscribe and like if you find this video helpful. I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the Easter eggs that have been dropped over the last week with Streamer U. Agent Zero and Ludwig did an outstanding job on their classes, and I kind of wanted to talk about that in addition. You could find majority of Agent Zero, Double Zero's classes still on Twitch. Eventually, they'll probably be moved over to YouTube, but they're still on Twitch as of now. Ludwig's classes are on his VOD channel if you were looking for them. A lot of people have been breaking them down, and they've been pretty informative. But I'll talk about that. But first, I want to talk about these Easter eggs that have been dropped.
Next year's Streamer University is reportedly set to be held somewhere in Europe.
That is Streamer University 2027 will be taking place in Europe.
So make sure you're getting your passports together. Here are some of the locations. And let's kind of get to the second Easter egg.
Yes. Bro, what I don't want to hear is 8 months from now when Kai's booting up his next Streamer University. Damn, man. All the people from this Streamer University didn't take it seriously. You got the opportunity to come here. Do you know how
Did you hear that? He said in 8 months. In 8 months. I found that interesting. Why would he choose to say 8 months for Streamer University as opposed to... So that would put us right around spring break. And I'm not quite sure how spring break works for Europe. Maybe it's along the same lines. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's different. Maybe that's why he's choosing it during America time. Because I know we had the first Streamer U. It was in May. This one was in June. Also, we know that Kai is trying to start for Vet. This is his clothing company. So what better place to start it up than Europe? Also expanding in the Europe market and American market. That's just ideal. So I was like, they're making a lot of power moves right about now. Well thought out. Additionally, Tone. This is the AMP company. So if they're thinking about it to launch in Europe, sales have already improved. And you can watch on a lot of Agent Zero's lessons, especially the last 2 days, which are on Twitch, I believe. They talk about what they're doing for the company, starting the Shopify that they're running, and then also having the tone with the body product. So what better place to push that than in the European market, additionally making them a global business. To also mention, did you all know that Streamer U is still up and live? I don't think this was the same situation as it was last year, which means that this is going to be kind of the catalyst point that they're going to launch everything else. If you saw, I'm not really seeing Tone on here, but I am seeing Shop from Merch. So if the merch is Streamer U merch, who's to say you can't expand to Silver Vet eventually? But that's just something that they're thinking about doing. They're really trying to build up the baseline, but I want you to think about what direction you can go with it. I'm pretty familiar with social media, all the different social medias, generally speaking, and I like to break things down to an elemental level. I spent about 6 years studying the different social media. Over the last 20 years, I've been studying business, functions, operations, KPIs, etc. with government, non-profit organizations, and small and medium-sized businesses. Some things I really don't hear people talk about in tandem would be like internal tech boosters, such as vidIQ, TubeBuddy. That's more for the YouTube side. Also, something that I heard, this is more from musicians. I'm not sure how good it is, but Prism, you can upload to 4 different locations all at once. There's a lot of areas, and one thing that I'm finding is they're investing in different social medias, having multiple social medias, having a Snapchat, having a Discord, TikTok, etc., YouTube, Twitch. And this is one of the things that I've seen about Twitch, which is the beauty of it. Like, you get to talk to your chat. You could talk to them in real time, giving real feedback. That's one thing for those who really don't know about Twitch or who only use YouTube and only know about YouTube, that they can send you a message, but it depends on if you respond, if you see it or whatnot. So that's one thing. So intertwining or using all these different social medias together in tandem. Some things they talk about in some of the classes, they talk about Twitch doesn't really have reach, but YouTube has a great discovery. YouTube has a great background in how they can share and expand your search. They have a great search. So does TikTok. TikTok has a great search. Snapchat has the ability to get you paid. X has the ability to get you paid. LinkedIn is more on the professional side. Discord gives you the ability to call and chat with people live. So using them all in tandem, I would say almost like the example of different defenses that you can use in basketball, mixing up 2-3, 3-2, a 1-3-1, boxing 1, a triangle and 2, or running different defenses, or offenses. You could run I formation, you could run a wing T, you could run 3 wide, 2 wide, 5 wide, 1 back. You can do a lot of different things with that. Those are different things to think about as you're using social medias. Don't look at them as one that could do everything, because you could even, one thing I hear people talk about more is using long form to create your short form instead of just creating your short form purely there, creating long form and then creating clips, or because they also, so people talk about those things, but then they don't talk about the persevere mindset, what that actually looks like, how to persevere, how to be consistent, how to improve run percent. I hear different parts, but I don't hear all those parts roll together. And then even choosing your niche area, something that you're interested in, being half of the circle. I've seen the example used as when you're trying to create a circle, you have 2 circles, and this is yourself, and this is your audience. Okay, and how can you find the middle ground, something that you enjoy doing that the audience wants to see? You got to find that middle ground, because if it's too much for the audience, it's something you don't like. But if it's too much for you, the audience doesn't want to see it or whatnot. So that's something to take in consideration. And then finally, talking about what is unique to you. What is unique to you? What do you do differently? What do you do differently that people would want to, why would they want to watch you? Are you funny? Can you tell a joke? Are you a great dancer? Do you laugh? Do you look at things differently? All those different things. And that those are some of the starting points on more of the content character part, content providing piece of it. But then there's also, which we haven't even got to talk, which we haven't really went in depth about, but they did, talking about the business. How does the business look? Whether it be Formula One or whatnot, because Ludwig, and he's done a great job in trying to find his different area of expertise, and he did such a good job teaching at Streamer. So he did a good job. So if you didn't get a chance, take a look at some of these videos. These are the videos on Ludwig's VOD, and Also, don't forget to take a look at Twitch for for Agent Zero. He had some great videos. These are some of his videos right here. These are the last 3 days. These are the days before Streamer University Day 1 and whatnot. But I will say this: my biggest goal is to be able to put everyone to games so they get an understanding. Because things that aren't talked about a lot are business, relationships, and financial literacy. So just trying to help put everyone on to game. And one thing that I find to be true, that memes may change as far as people going from television to radio, from newspapers or whatnot, to now social media. Who knows what will be next? But to help people stay relevant, and then, but the core, and this is what I'll say, and this is where I try to really break it down to the elemental level of it, like Kai. Excuse me, like Aang. Well, I mean, you could say like Kai too. Breaking down to the core audience, humans will stay the same, and their humanistic behavior will stay the same. You just have to be able to read. You just have to be able to read them and see and have a vision of what they're going to be doing psychologically, and then knowing at some point where you diminish and what you can do, and then understanding and knowing where you're diminishing, where you're beginning to lack over time, and then I would say learning how to hit a moving target, learning how to hit that target as far as certain people. And I think one of the best things that people could do is learning how to do e-commerce, which they are doing, e-commerce with Vivette, whether it's a clothing product or something like that. Tone, those are products, online products through an e-platform, physical products. I like products that are not physical, but these are just good, just as good too. And also the content, those have forever been areas that you can grow in exponentially, putting in effort, learning skills, discipline stacking, and putting those skills together to make yourself that much more proficient in being able to gain income. And I'm gonna close with this: people create one video and create $10,000 a week, a day, or whatever, versus spending your whole year earning $20,000, $10,000. That is what you could do with e-commerce and content creation, and that is the game changer. If you work it right, you learn how to tie in business, relationship, financial literacy, all of that stuff, you put yourself a level above. So, but that's what I want to say in closing. And I'm gonna holler at y'all. Put something in the comment if you need me to add something or change something. All right, I wish y'all well.